climate change is really a political problem. Climate change is not really anymore a scientific problem. We know most of the processes. We know how humankind is interacting with the natural spheres and the environment. But what is not yet solved are the political agreements. If you have changes in the monsoon regime, the farmers cannot plan anymore, so not with necessary certainty. Yeah? So, and that means, in other words, farmers are trapped in this climate problems. So because and they cannot calculate with yield, and if they don't have yield, then they don't have income. If they don't have income, then of course it affects whole families. In terms of emission reduction, I would say that the developed countries are still not doing enough. The time horizon we have for action is very, very small. So, and if we don't do anything, it could even happen that the temperature will increase up to 4 degrees, maybe 5. We are using common property resources,
right.
So the atmosphere is a common property resource, or maybe in this case a common property sink, so we're using it as a kind of a waste disposal for our CO2. So, and if you're polluting your environment, you need to be punished, and the best way to do that is a carbon tax. If you don't have the experts in planning, if you don't have well-educated people who can really, or who are understanding problems from a multidisciplinary or let's say multi-dimensional point of view, then everything is senseless, I would say. You need to develop some policy making which combats against the root causes of migration. And here also climate change plays an important role. So when the sea level is rising further, and more regions in the Sundarbans or wherever you are in Bangladesh would be permanently flooded, of course then a lot of people will even migrate more into the cities. And that is really a problem. In the right way, we have to understand how freshwater aquifers in coastal zones interact with seawater, and also with the human use. So in principle, you have an equilibrium between saltwater intrusion and the renovation rate of fresh water. Use solar energy and combine it with seawater desalination plants, and then you can use fresh water from the sea. It's a bit costly, but nevertheless it works, and it has a very, very high energy efficiency. If you wouldn't want to still rely on natural resources, then you have to establish a water management system which is sustainable. You need to have meters, for instance, for water usage. You should not allow any more illegal pumping wells and something like this. Countries like Bangladesh, from my point of view, we need technology shifts, and we need to handle intellectual property rights to this extent. So it could not. So of course, when you have international acting companies who are the owners of technologies, they want to gain money with it. Waste handling is clearly related to the question of sustainability. What I said before, we need a clear vision of human life, of urban life, and of course this comprises also how you handle your daily life, how you handle your waste. Plastic is one of the pests, I would say, of humankind. If you're using it for any purpose, just using it a few minutes and then throw it away. That's really bad. And this is a global phenomenon. So in Germany we have since, 20 years now, kind of a recycling system, which makes it mandatory to recycle plastics. And for this purpose, the producers have to pay a price for plastic, or whatever they do with it. And the idea was, with this price, to establish a fully functioning recycling system. Unfortunately, it's not working, really. So the recycling quota is around 50-60%, what is in principle already a great achievement, but by far not enough. I see the developed world in, of course, much more responsibility than that. We need to equip the Green Climate Fund with much more money. One of the candidates of the Democratic Party has decided to make climate change as as a core business of his campaign, what is a good sign. So that also shows us that the US citizens are not thinking in a similar way. Principal insurance is a good idea, but somebody has to pay for it. That means the companies want to gain money from it. From somebody the money needs to come from. I know that Munich Re, for instance, is supporting some research on this, even in our institute. Yeah? When I'm discussing with these colleagues, I'm asking them, okay, from where should the money come from? And their proposal is that also the money should come from the Green Climate Fund, for instance. Yeah? The other option could be just to make it mandatory that everybody needs to be insured. That could also be an opinion, because not opinion, could be an option, because then the risk is shared amongst all.